The former chief of Border Patrol, the retired acting ICE director. Director, always good to have you. Where the president is going today, how different is it from where the vice president went last week?
Well, the vice president didn't visit the actual border itself, although she was steps away from a 30-foot wall just across the way from where she was at the centralized processing center. The facility that the vice president visited was purposely built to handle this tender-age children and families in large numbers coming into the custody of the Border Patrol. So sort of an ideal setting and the traffic had been reduced, and it's not as busy as the area of where President Trump and the governor will be today in the Rio Grande Valley. Now, when I was there before we had wall, since the wall's been installed, and then the new wall that was installed under the previous administration, that's always been a place where the smugglers, the cartels, and the people who control the pipeline send folks from Central American countries to that part of the border. It's closer in geography, and the smuggling groups and the cartels sort of control that flow. So it's always been a place where lots of people from Central America get apprehended. And so that's why it's the busiest place along the southwest border, because the population is made up of that specific part of the world.
Now, as you know better than anyone, Ron, the president will be with Texas Governor Abbott, of course, who has already said, all right, you feds, if you're not going to build the wall and finish it, I will. He's got a lot of largely exclusively Republican governors going along to help him out with troops of their own, including Kristi Noem in South Dakota announcing 50 troops heading the border's way. The Biden administration hasn't said one thing or the other about this, but it's so much of this land is federal land. Can the governor do that? Can these governors supporting him allow that?
I'm not sure. If he gets the approval of landowners, that's one thing. I'm sure they can make an accommodation there. But on the federal property, that's going to be very different. And then when we were there, both under the Trump administration trying to build wall or repair wall, and put new wall down in like the 2007 timeframe, there's a treaty with Mexico that has to be adjusted for. And then the wall in the valley where they're going to be, it also contains levee and flood protection. So all of those things have to be configured before they can lay down like new material. And obviously, the governor's smart about that. I'm sure people are going to challenge it. But the simplest way to do this would be to have an accommodation with landowners who also agree that a barrier is necessary for the Border Patrol to succeed. And so agents know that walls work, and the more of that asset that they have alongside of additional technology and more agents, that's a solution for success.
Got it. All right. Ron Vitiello, the former chief of Border Patrol, retired acting ICE director. We'll keep you posted on this, especially when the former president starts all of this.